Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming out with a long form talk podcast type of video today, and it's going to be on Veterans Day. Basically, veterans in general, how they act, why we do the things that we do, how we react to certain things. Generally, we try to not react to certain things, and oftentimes we get in trouble in relationships because they like, why aren't you reacting? Like you a sociopath? Are you like a stone cold killer? Like, no, we've just been through a lot, and if somebody says something really outrageous or crazy or does something outrageous or crazy, most likely we've been there and we've done it in times 10. I was like, oh, all right, that's interesting. The first time I really got experience with this is when a friend Mark, he was in the Air Force as well, he's a medic, and he had been used to, okay, all right, this guy's like blew off, this guy's did this, whatever, okay, he's missing a limb. So when something came into the animal hospital, he's a veterinarian now, he uses his skills to go help animals, which is why I love him. And this one tech we had named Alicia was just freaking out, like, why aren't you freaking out? Why aren't you like reacting to this? Like, because she had like maybe seen this like, a handful of times in her life. And just to animals, he's like, well, I've experienced this type of things before, and usually it's best to, not get flustered and not react so, scatterbrained like that. It's always, and he's right. It's good to have a cool head, and when you're in the military, you're kind of taught, okay, keep your heart rate low, keep calm, situational awareness around, and a lot of times we don't react to things like that, and people think like, are you emotionless? Are you okay? It's like, yeah, we're fine. We just, some things like that we've experienced before. Other things that get us into trouble is being okay with separation for a while. I dated this one girl. She was a hairdresser, and she had this like week-long course or whatever that she wanted to do in another state. It wasn't even that far away. It was like in New Jersey, and we had seen each other pretty regularly, and we never really went more than like a day or so without hanging out. And she's like, I'm gonna be gone for like 2 weeks. Like, are we gonna be okay? I was like, girl, it is 2 weeks. That's it. That's like a vacation, and a lot of us have been deployed for minimum 6 or 7 months at a time. Where minimum, that's the time you don't get to see your friends, you don't get to see your family, and it double hurts if you are, let's say, on location somewhere for 6, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, whatever it is. And then as soon as you come back, like 5 days before you come back, someone else leaves. And then you don't see them for like a year and a half. And sometimes why I say a year and a half, because depending on where you deploy, I got it very easy. I was in Kuwait. I was only there for like 7 months. And once you leave, like your home station, whether you go from, they bust us down to BWI. As soon as we left from BWI, it was Baltimore Washington International, and we flew over to Germany. That was the first place to go. The clock started ticking for us. Okay, that's the day being deployed, even though the first day you're just traveling. Like, you're not, first like day and a half, 2 days, you're just traveling, but that counts as being deployed. Again, Qatar, Kuwait, anywhere nice, cupcake land, that's where you go. But if you're in, it might be the same for Iraq too, or Afghanistan, but if you're in Iraq, it doesn't start until you're on location. And a lot of times where there's heavy rocket fire, I think Al-Assad, I think it was Al-Assad, where you have, a lot of times planes can't land because there's so much rocket fire. It seemed like too dangerous. Like, planes can't land. And you're waiting for a flight for like a month. And that does not count towards your deployment time. So you are in a shitty part of the world. You're in what Trump will call like a shithole country. You're in Kuwait, it's hot. You're in Qatar, it's hot. You're just hot all the time. And it doesn't even count towards your deployment yet because you're not on location. You're not on site. Finally, after a month, you get there. That's when the clock starts ticking. Okay, there we go. Now we're here. We're in the shit. And 180 days, starts from there. And then after that, you have to wait for a flight to come back home. Then you have to go there. It is rough. and that's just, Air Force. A lot of times you have Army that had like year deployments. Some people that go from like 12, 15 months. You're not meant to do that. The human body I guess people live that, and some people, um, yeah, give your friends that just coming back time to adjust. They're not the same people now as when they left. They're different, and doesn't always mean bad. A lot of times being, again, depending on where you deploy, it could be, hey, I realize what I miss, and I'm thankful for you guys, even though it's very, very weird because you miss it. And any normal, sane person would be like, why do you miss the horrendous heat and the rockets? Why do you miss, like, being in the shit? It's just different. And I'm not saying, like, okay, hey, boys that you, or girls that you deploy with, they're not going to be better or worse than your friends that you have at home. It's just different. Like, you're just living a whole different world. It's a different life. And it's weird, but don't take offense to it when people say, hey, I miss it. Like, what, you didn't miss me? You want to go back? Like, what is wrong with me? What's wrong with America? You commie? No, it's just, you get used to something for so long, and you miss the routine, even though it could be a shitty routine. People get used to routines. Whatever it is, whether it's really good, whether it's shit, you get used to it. And that's something that, again, don't take offense to it when you hear, hey, I want to go back. It's nothing against you. They just miss that certain routine. They got used to it for a long amount of time. And sometimes, again, you'll go over there and a part of you will stay over there. Mostly you'll come back, but just, and I don't mean like physically, like, you lost limbs, just a certain part of you will stay over there. And sometimes that more of you will stay over there the more you do it. I've seen guys that go too many times. It's like, okay, you're just not the same. Like, and you don't feel comfortable unless you're over there, and feels bad, man. So that part makes it a little harder for a relationship. But me and a bunch of my friends got very, 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 very lucky, and it's like, oh yeah, we're for the most part normal functioning adults, and we can do pretty much anything we want. But some coping mechanisms mean drinking. It means fighting. It means just being outrageous and crazy, and it's dumb and it's stupid and it's immature, but that's just what we do. It's how we deal. Dark humor is how I cannot tell you the amount of dark humor, ridiculous jokes that we tell to each other on a daily basis. Like, there's a app called Vet TV, which I haven't actually watched yet, but it looks really good, and it just tells you all, like, the messed up, disgusting stuff we say to each other, and it's for fun. Like, is a little bit mean, sure, but we do it to make each other laugh, because that's how you get through it. Like, I remember, and this wasn't even deployment, this was just around at home station. We were just at playing 8-ball pool. I don't know if you guys remember that game, but we were doing that, and we just started getting aggressive with each other. Like, my friend Hay, he would, Andrew Hay, love that guy. It was just like, he's like, Chavez, I hope you don't wake up tomorrow, because I was beating him in pool. And that's just the type of thing that you say. You say this extraordinarily outrageous, probably shouldn't repeat shit. It'd be like, I hope you kill yourself and become a statistic. Like, it's funny. Like, you say, like, I hope your children are born without legs. Like, something that you would never say to a normal person. But to veterans, it's funny. That's how you deal. So, no, there's nothing really wrong with your veteran friend. Although there might be a little bit. It's just how we deal. It's just like, okay, that's just him. It's just being really dark sense of humor. And it depends why some people go for different reasons. Like my TI, my drill instructor, my training instructor asked us, like, hey, why did you guys join up? And I was like, oh man, everyone's going to be like this Captain America, want to, like, serve the country. And, nobody was answering at first. And he says, like, it could be for whatever reason. Like, I joined to get out of the house. And I was like, what? I figured someone that was in the military for 17 years at that time, I was like, you joined to get out of the house? Like, that doesn't make sense. Catch you later, Dad.
Later, brother. Have a good one.
You too. And then that kind of got the ball rolling and say, why did everyone sign up? Why did they join? And yeah, there's a few people. There's the Captain America, like, I joined to serve. I don't like bullies. I don't care where they're from. And yeah, the respect to those guys. And there's some people that join, and if you're lucky, you don't see them, but you'll probably see them at some point. That some people are racist, and they join to kill Hajis. They join because they That's who they are. They like to shoot. They want to see people hurt. They're just, I don't want to say bad people. Well, some probably are, but um, it depends where you're coming from. Because if you say like, hey, there's a couple of guys that I served with that, were older. They say like, after 9/11, I went and I signed up the next day because they were angry at what happened. They never wanted that. And yeah, if you want to get the guys that did that, bravo. Yeah, good for you. But there's some people that say like, I don't care who it is. I just want to kill brown people. That's just what happens. And thankfully they're on your team. But the best way that I can describe it is that, okay, hey, like they might be racist or whatever, but if you give out your best foot forward as a minority person in the military, you can change people. You can change people because some of these people never see black people. Like there's people I went to basic training with, like they just never saw a black person before. We're not around minorities at all. And it's your job, responsibility to say, hey, if you change them, if you present your best foot forward, they're like, oh, they're just normal people. I served with a person that was very, very, not very, very homophobic. It was just, a couple of people that just really disagreed with the lifestyle that gay people live. There's like, my religion tells me that it's not right. That's not supposed to happen. They're going to hell. And they served with them, did their thing. And then after a while, like, they're friends. Like, they're like, oh, they're good people. And it's interesting to, you grow. You grow in the military. You do. And you, most times for the better, I think. Sometimes you regress a little bit, and it's a great way to learn. And some of the perks that we have, again, tomorrow's Veterans Day. I go and get all the free food I can. I'll go to Red Robin. I'm gonna go to I don't know. I'm gonna go to Friendly's. I'm gonna go to Chipotle. I'm gonna go and the girl that I'm going with right now, she's coming out to visit me, and we're gonna get a hotel. We're gonna a little bit of nookie, and yeah, just gonna get some food. She's gonna meet one of my friends. If you see someone tomorrow or today, if you're watching the video today, that has on Veterans Day that has a military uniform on, I feel like that most people don't like. You don't. I mean, some people are like, they're proud, like, hey, or an army shirt or Marine hat or whatever, and that's fine. But if you're like, when you're serving and you're and you have to wear that uniform like 60, 80 hours a week, whatever it is, as soon as you get off base, jeans, sweatshirt, I feel like a normal person again. You don't want to wear that off. Some people do. But if you see that, most likely they're not serving. I feel like that's like a telltale sign of like stolen valor. Like if they're fat. What do I think about stolen valor? Two sides of me. Part of me is like flattered, like, oh, you want to be so much like me. You're dressing up like me, and you wish you were me. Good for you, guy. And the other part of me is like, all right, listen, you didn't earn that uniform. You didn't go through what we went through. You didn't do what we did. Please fucking take that off. That's not yours to wear. It's like robbery. Like, fuck, man. That's just my opinion on it. On that. And again, some people take it like the extreme, like they want to fight those people, and some people are just like, meh. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's one of the best jobs I ever had. So many good friends, and happy Veterans Day to everyone. If you see a vet, give them a thank you, especially those young guys. Young people join 17, 18, 19. But those guys, those people are heroes in my mind. They really are. Anytime I mean, they're all older now, the people that I served with, but some people I served with, 19 years old, best men and women I have. Yeah, they're great. So that's just how I feel about it. Happy Veterans Day to all. Thank a vet, and I will talk to you all later. Okay, goodbye. Meow.